What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. I have a no-nonsense build for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about Bloodied Commando. I'm going to be showcasing a current, future, and a low investment build for you guys. So, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Going ahead and looking at the current Commando build I am using. This is the perk setup. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want. I'm going to give a brief overview of the perks starting now. So in strength you want to have Traveling Pharmacy and Bandolier, of course, because these just make your life easier as you don't have to micromanage your weight as much. Blockers there because usually most of the things that'll one-shot you as a low health commando is a melee attack. The rest of the perks are kind of standard. You have Tenderizer for extra damage, you have Fireproof, Starch Jeans, Rejuvenated, Life Giver, Thirst Quencher. Really just the iconic endurance perks just to make yourself tankier and give yourself more wiggle room with your AP regeneration. In science, I have the 3 science perk cards. If you want to swap these out for Demolition Expert, you could very well do that. I just have them there so that I kind of have the flexibility to do whatever I want with my build. I can be a dual user of energy and ballistic weapons, or I can just simply swap those out and put something like Gunsmith, or put in Demolition Expert so I can use explosive based weapons. I'm not using Action Boy in the endurance tree, as that's something a high investment player will not be using because there's just so many ways around having to use AP regeneration perk like Action Boy, so I just don't advise using it on a high investment build. For legendary perks, they're all going to be the same on the builds. You're just going to have Follow Through as your main damage perk, followed by your selection of +5 special perks. So whatever you want to pick, this is what I have. Looking at our special, this is what I have with my unyielding armor equipped and my mutations, while also being in a public team. Here's what it looks like without any of those bonuses added, so just put your numbers onto this, and you should be able to replicate exactly what I have. Here's a quick look at my list of mutations that I use on my build. This is the same for all the builds. This is what these mutations look like in game when you have rank 3 class freak equipped. Ignore the fact that I have Chameleon and Unstable Isotope. You would not have these. I run Chameleon because why not, and Unstable Isotope, I think I just accidentally drank a serum. Here's a quick showcase of why Herd Mentality is so powerful. As you can see, that was my points before and after joining a team. Moving on to weapon selection, for this build you're going to want to use these standard weapons you'd expect a Bloodied Commando to use. That'd be a Bloodied Fixer, a Quad Fixer, something like a Bloodied Enclave Plasma Rifle. Really just any kind of automatic weapon will work perfectly with this build that can put a silencer on it. So something like the Alien Disintegrator actually counts as a silenced weapon, so you could also use something like that if you so chose to use that. But my personal favorite weapon to use on the daily basis is the Bloodied Enclave Plasma Rifle. It just feels very good, and even though it's not a silent weapon, it kills extremely fast. Moving on to a discussion about armor, feel free to take a screenshot of this diagram I created. It just runs down the basic set bonuses versus Thorn and Silva Engineer armor, and the mods I use on each set. They are the same mods on each set, so just kind of mix and match what you want. Moving on to our low investment build, this is something that relatively low level players should be able to put on. I'm not going to sit here and put a definitive number on what level you need to be on because some people got upset last time. But this is the showcase for what you should probably be running if you are a low investment player. This is what your special stats will look like, and as you can see I took off all my legendary perk cards. The first one you want to go for is definitely Legendary Luck, as this will push you closer to that luck threshold that you need to hit crits every other shot. That threshold of course being 29 luck, and you can achieve this by using one Limit Breakers mod. So for low investment players, I'd highly suggest you prioritize getting one Limit Breaker mod at least, and then pushing your luck to 29. Moving on to the fun part, the future Commando build. There are a significant amount of perks getting very good changes in the next update. Starting out by looking at Arms Keeper, for example, this perk will now work with all weapons and not just rifles. Awareness got a buff where it will grant you BAT's accuracy depending on your perception. Taking a look at Endurance, you only need to use at least one rank of Rejuvenated, and as rank 1 will get the benefits of the current rank 2. So this actually saves you a perk point. The other perk you'll actually be putting on here is Ironclad, and I'll just use this to fill the remainder of your perk points. You don't necessarily need rad resist. You could run that, but if not, take that off and put the extra point towards ironclad. Looking at charisma, spiritual healer you probably don't need. I'm interested in the perk, but my PTS character is not at a high enough level to actually effectively test everything, so I'll admit that's a speculative pick, but if I was to take that off, I would just put that towards another perk slot. In agility, there's a lot of things changing. The one that I think will apply the most to your everyday commando build would be Gunslinger, as this perk will now be changed to provide you ranged weapon damage. Mr. Sandman will finally be not a throw pick, as it will actually provide you the 100% bonus damage to silenced weapons, not just when it's nighttime, so it'll just be active all the time, so you can confidently slot it in. So that has been my bloodied build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. On my next video I'll be posting my solo run of the Ultracite Terror as a bloodied player, and I'll showcase that build for you guys as well. So if you're looking forward to that, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned.